To share with you this little folio and journal set that I made. This was an unfinished project for a long time, but I finally got my act together and finished it off a couple of months ago, and I thought I'd come here and give you a flip through of the whole thing. So this is 14 centimetres, it's 5.5 inches by 15, about 21 centimetres, which is 7 and a bit, I think. If this is it's a 6-inch ruler, so it's nearly 8.5. There you go. I've just got a really simple closure that goes vertically here, that slides right off, and you can take it out of your way. And then we've got this file folder style journal with tabs. It's heavily collaged throughout, using a mixture of vintage papers from my own collection, vintage botanical books, 3 different ones in the journal itself, some little bits and scraps on the collage rolls and the folder collage from some free digis. These are little bits and pieces you can see around here. These are from Nick the Booksmith's free digis. You've got a really sturdy folder front here. You've got heavy collage on both sides, so it's got a real substance to it. And then my very messy stitching all the way around with lots of knots and double lines. And this is mostly, this style has evolved because my sewing machine belonged to my grandmother and was probably bought in the made in the 1980s, and it's very temperamental, doesn't really like sewing paper at all, and it creates this kind of crazy chaos, which I love, and I can't afford a new one, so there you go. You can't get a new one in this country at the moment. Everybody's bought sewing machines in lockdown, and they're sold out, and there are waiting lists on all the websites. It's amazing. I did look at buying a new one, but it's not something I can do at the moment. Then you've got a little corner tuck here at the bottom, and this is a digital journaling card that I created here on the front, and you'll see there's 4 different ones of these, and they come up throughout the journal. The back is more collage, another one from that set of journaling cards in a smaller size. This is, I think, is vintage airmail paper. This is from an image in the public domain. Vintage music paper and stained vintage dictionary paper. This is linen fabric, and this is part of the construction inside. You can see it at the top and the bottom here, but it also creates a nice fabric element on the back. So going inside now, on the left, you've got a tuck spot or pocket made from some vintage ledger paper from the early 1900s. And then this collage here is from a collage roll. Again, using lots of scraps and bits and pieces. It's a really good way of using scraps. And if you don't know what it is, it's just a big, long strip of collage. You get a piece of paper as a base. I've got a bit here. This is one that's in progress. And you can see here just lots of scraps and bits and pieces. This one I've picked out little bits of colour that seem to complement each other and would work in a in a botanical journal. This one I particularly made, but you can make them in different styles. You can mix it up. It's really relaxing thing to do. And then when you come to putting a project together, you've got some ready-made pieces ready to go. Inside this pocket, and you can see here the collaging on the back of the journal. These are some documents from the 1914, something like that, I think, from my collection of vintage papers. But again, we've got old and new mixed together here. These envelopes, which had previously been folded for something else, so there are actually some random fold lines in these, and I've repurposed them into these envelopes. Little tab on the side there. And this paper is from a scrapbook paper pack that was made by the Victoria and Albert Museum. It has predominantly Art Nouveau, arts and crafts designs. And it's a really lovely paper pack. And there's a few more bits of this throughout as well. Right, on this side, we've got a little tuck spot here, made from a label and a ticket, a tag and a ticket, a label, collaged here, music paper, tea stain doily, 2 little tickets going in here, and then this is a pocket, paper clip there, nice little sewn pocket made from an envelope with a tab that matches that paper there. And again, you've got that paper here, this little envelope pocket with some vellum, and then a little journaling spot with another tab from that paper that folds out for writing, and that can be left floating or it can be stuck down to the back there. Let's pop these back. Okay, and then this is a belly band made from that linen that's stitched over the edge there, so it's really sturdy, and that is holding in the journal, but I'll just pull that out now so you can see this construction. So this is the belly band here and the flip over that stays on there, and the journal. Let's pull those out. There you go, you can see the whole of as much of the back as you're gonna see there. So that's the folio, and this is a little journal, really simple single signature pamphlet stitched journal. It's very plain inside. I'll show you the pages in a minute. Just move this one out of the way. So obviously this, you could put a different journal in there and carry on using this and keep bits in it that you might want to use in your journal, take it with you in the pockets and so on, so that you could journal on the go. Here is the journal. So I've got a horizontal belly band there, and the other 3 journaling cards from that set I made on my iPad. I do rather love these, I have to say. I was really pleased with how they came out, using images and bits in the public domain and making digital collage. The background is just an original jelly print that I've scanned in, and then I've worked on top with these other images. They were really good fun to make. So we've got heavily tea stained or coffee stained. This is a botanical encyclopedia from the 1950s, I think. We've also got the British book pages from the British Flora in Colour, which some of you might know, and pages from another botanical book, a slightly more modern one, but still from the 1970s, I think, but that one's got colour photography in it, so it's got to be a bit newer. This is more of that ledger paper. It's a 3-hole pamphlet stitch with ochre coloured wax linen thread and another bit of that stained encyclopedia page on the back. Then we've got a little pocket here with a botanical tag, torn collage, different papers, tea stained grid paper on the back. This is quite a sturdy construction. The paper goes folded around behind the card, and then the whole thing stuck down, and I think that makes for quite a nice sturdy pocket. So there's your signature cover, and then we've just got a variety of stained papers, and predominantly this journal has just lots of writing space. Stained lined paper, go. These are, this is digitally printed lined paper with a bit of stamping, and then this is, if it gets wet, the inkjet print bleeds and you get really unexpected colours. So sometimes I like to create these effects. Here, so you'll see a few of those. All the staining is, you know, in a variety of shades. Try to get some dark, some light, some have got other inks with them. So this, for example, has obviously had some distress ink or similar on it when I stained it. Sometimes I use pigmenty powders, all sorts of different things really. Could you see that? There you go, you can see that tiny bit of yellow. That's what I'm yakking on about. So here we go, and back into the back of the book with the same papers repeated on the other side of the signature, and so on. Lots of nice staining and grungy bits here and all the way through. And then we've got a little back pocket here, some vintage music paper. This is from a scan of a bit of vintage packaging that I have, which has advertising on it. And that pocket's made in the same style as the one in the front, with a little index card on the back. And here is all 4 of those little digital cards in a smaller size, because I love them and they give a little theme to the whole project. So I hope that you enjoyed having a look at that with me. I hope I've managed to avoid wobbly camera this time and stayed in frame. If you like the video, please do like and subscribe, share if you can, and hopefully I'll be back with some more really soon. Bye.